What's up, guys? Welcome to Among the Fence, my YouTube channel where I do music reviews on albums and singles and EPs, basically whatever I want. My name is Aaron, and if you have anything you want me to review, go ahead and leave a comment below letting me know what it is. It'll be featured on an upcoming Request Wednesday, and if you do that, or you just happen to like deathcore and metalcore reviews, and basically any type of review that's underneath the metal blanket, heavy metal, whatever, I encourage you to please subscribe, ring the bell icon, that way you don't miss out on any of my future reviews, especially if you leave a request, because sometimes that happens. It just makes me sad, and it just helps support me and my channel, and I appreciate it more than you guys could ever imagine. And on today's review, we're going to be checking out the new album, Angel or Alien, by the band Born of Osiris. The proggy, metalcore, djenty band from Illinois is back with their 6th studio album since 2003. Their first album came out in 2009, and I haven't really been that big of a fan of theirs since 2013 release, which was Tomorrow We Die Alive. And even though they've released some really good songs, it's been quite a while since I've been able to connect with them throughout an entire album. Even when they had Jason Richardson, who I absolutely love as a guitarist and YouTuber, I had a hard time getting into the songs and the melodies, and they just haven't done it for me in quite a while. So going into Angel or Alien, I kind of was a little hesitant on if I was going to like it or not, but I was still pretty excited, especially after hearing the first couple singles. I was getting pretty pumped for this album. Angel or Alien kicks off with the song Poster Child, which has like this synthy effect thing in the intro that sets the melody for the song. The verse has this drawn out riff to it, and the vocals are very specific and unique to Born of Osiris. That's one thing I've never really had a problem with this band, is the vocals. I love how dirty and crunchy they are. And the chorus has this really sick hook to it, and the cleaner vocals are absolutely amazing. The bridge has a double kick, which really amps up the energy in the song. And I gotta admit, it's not really as technical as I was expecting, especially from Born of Osiris. However, the sax solo in the outro was delightfully unexpected. White Nile, which was one of the singles that they released, reminds me a lot of After the Burial song Lost in the Static off of their album Dig Deep. Has the same kind of vocal performance, especially when the vocals get really high. Has the same kind of Middle Eastern style guitar and melody part to it, and none of that is a bad thing. It all sounds fantastic, and it's all mixed together beautifully and perfectly in the breakdown and the bridge. And they made a very straightforward song, but somehow they managed to make it unpredictable at the same time, especially when the guitar solo comes in, which is kind of expected, but at the same time the style is unexpected. It reminds me a lot of something that Joe Satriani would play. It's just very smooth and sexy and kind of like jazzy and bluesy in a way. The title track song, Angel or Alien, starts off with this poppy synthetic beat in the intro. It really picks up once the vocals come in. The chorus is really hooky and catchy, mostly due to the music. The drums take over in verse 2, and I gotta say that it seems like they took a step out of their technical style and their abilities in favor of something that's a little bit easier to listen to and easier to digest, and they did it perfectly. My favorite part in this song has got to be the harmonized guitar solo, especially when the Tron kind of synth beat comes in. It sounds so good. Waves has one of the heaviest and grooviest riffs on this album that you could barely hear once the vocals come in, just because there's so much out in front. And the clean vocals add a little bit more intimacy, specifically when they're hiding in the background in the chorus. And I gotta say, this is one of the slower and gentler songs on this album that isn't really in a hurry, right along with the song Love Story, which maintains the hostility of all the other songs while still managing to be vulnerable. And it really brings out the emotion in the verses, while the chorus has kind of hit the climax of this emotion. And it's really passionate and, dare I say, pretty. Oathbreaker has the Born of Osiris riffage that I'm used to, has tons of aggression in the verse with the zoomy guitar melody, and the chorus is catchy and very thumpy, and the lyrics have great metaphors. It's just non-stop chugging throughout this entire song. Thread of Your Presence also has a riff that's very Born of Osiris-y. It's just a riff that's all over the place. The verse is basically a breakdown, and the chorus is huge, has gigantic chords. The drums slowed down, the growls are longer, they're more drawn out. It's just so good, and the guitar solo matches it very appropriately. And when the breakdown hits in the end, you're ready for it, just because it feels like it's been building all the way up to that moment. Crossface starts out with a djenty riff that pans from right to left, and this song has a very old school feel to it, specific to this band. Not to mention that the guitar melody in the verse kind of reminds me of Korn's Falling Away From Me. The pre-chorus changes the melody up quite a bit though, and it sounds fantastic. Has tons of different sections to the song that are all great. It's very unpredictable, and the outro is fantastic as well. Echo Breaker is kind of like the midpoint for this album, and it seems to be slowing down a little bit, and this song brings the chaos back in with a hook-filled chorus, arpeggio in the post-chorus. It's got powerful drums in the verse. I mean, the cleans in the chorus balance out the growls. The song is just put together so well, and it does a good job at bringing that energy back up. Even though it does have more of a mainstream sound to it, again, it still sounds perfect in this album and specific to Born of Osiris at the same time. I don't know if you guys can see it on camera, but there is a fly in here and it is driving me insane. Lost Souls seems to be about accepting one's own fate, but also not accepting pity, even though the consequences of your fate are justified in a way due to your own actions. It starts out with this kind of a quick synthetic beat to it with a guitar passage that matches it up beautifully. The chorus has a great melody to it, and it's very catchy, kind of leaves you wanting more. And the outro brings back the guitar melody from the intro, and it just sounds fantastic. And the melody and the guitar solo, it's just a really great sounding song. In for the Kill has some insane drum work to it and fierce lyrics that kind of like lash out in frustration, it feels like. It's very drum and vocal focused in a way, but it does get some really good melodies, specifically in the bridge. It never really lets up. It just keeps bringing the energy. And even when it feels like you're about to get a break, it doesn't. You Are the Narrative has a very dissonant riff to it. It's got a lot of heavy breakdowns, and it kind of feels all over the place due to how technical it is. And the music changes about like every 2 to 3 bars, which kind of creates this agitated and ungrounding feel to it. And the lyrics match that feel perfectly as well. Truth and Denial has a very bouncy rhythm in a way, and the mixture of high and low growls are just absolutely nasty. While the lyrics portray a disgust of one's own hypocrisy, the double bass and the drum work give it great cadence, while the guitar passage, it kind of just keeps the song flowing. Even though it sticks with it, it still just flows right on through with riffs. The album closes off with the song Shadowmourn, which has a sax solo in the intro, which is mixed in with some slower drums and a guitar passage. The sax solo makes it sound very epic, especially when the vocals come in, which are a little bit more out in front. Makes it easier for them to push through the mix, and it really brings the emotion out of them at the same time. And the song is truly inspiring, and the lyrics are encouraging while at the same time being relatable to not feeling like you're good enough. And it's a perfect farewell message to a beautifully well-written album. This song might be my favorite song on the album, specifically due to the lyrics, which is kind of weird saying about a song that's on a very technical album. Angel or Alien might be my new favorite Born of Osiris album. I like Tomorrow We Die Alive, but I gotta be completely honest, I've listened to that album so much, it's kind of lost its charm over the time. And not only that, but when I listen to it, it feels a lot more immature compared to later albums, specifically Angel or Alien, just because the mix on this is put together a lot better. The songs are a lot, like, way better written. There's a lot of technicality to the songs, but at the same time, it's not so far over the top to where it just feels like they're just being technical for the sake of being technical. The crazy guitar parts and sax solos and even synth stuff fits the songs a lot better. This album just feels very mature for this band, and they put it all together beautifully. This is definitely not a perfect album though. There are some things I don't like about it. After listening to the first like 3 songs, you can basically guess how every song is going to go, which is kind of weird because at the same time it's unpredictable. You don't know what they're going to play, but you know basically how they're going to set it up. It starts out with the synth intro beats. It's got the same kind of guitar melody either in the verse or the chorus, and it's got a breakdown, and then there's a synth outro kind of mixed in with the breakdown sometimes, but that's basically it. Also, the guitar melodies in the background, the tone is all the same. It kind of becomes all too familiar after a while. But I do like how the second half of this album becomes more musically technical and a little bit more intense compared to the first half. When you're listening to the first half, you're kind of getting familiar to the sound and what they're bringing to this album. And once you get to the second half, they just dive right into it. So with all that said, I got to give Angel or Alien by Born of Osiris a 8.2 out of 10. But I want to know what you guys thought, especially if you're a longtime fan and if you like most of their discography, since I'm not really that big of a fan of their last 2 albums. I'm curious to see what you guys think, so go ahead and leave a comment below letting me know what you thought of the album and what you would rate it. And if you enjoyed this review, don't forget to give it a like. If you want to see more of my videos, please don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell icon. That way you don't miss out on any of my future uploads and just help support me and my channel, and I appreciate it more than you guys could ever imagine. And I hope you guys all have a good rest of your day or night, whenever you happen to be watching this, and I'll talk to you guys next time.
I was just an ignorant kid relying on my parents' said to save me.